Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 3. Today we are going to talk about tip number 3, problem solving foundation. You could be wondering, what is this figurine is about? Probably you have missed our episode number 1. Let's do a quick flashback. Let's continue with tip number 3. Problem solving. Problem solving needed a foundation, and the foundation is thinking possibilities. And this phrase called thinking possibilities sounded like a slogan sometimes. Slogans are very useful for marketing purpose, and I'm sure that you have heard of this slogan. Started off with just from a sporting company. So they are useful, but in a way that for marketing purpose. And sometimes if we want to practicalize it and really use it for problem solving, we need to go a little bit further. So anytime that you have an idea that pop into your head, or someone come and tell you about an idea that you have not heard before, thinking possibility means you have to entertain that idea for 15 minutes without rejecting it. And while you are entertaining this idea for 15 minutes, you have to ask 3 magic questions that goes like this. So question number 1. Question number 1 is, can you tell me more? By asking this question, we're actually opening up our mind and saying that, please, can I have more information? And the second question is, how can this be done? If we were to implement it, what is step 1, 2, and 3? So this allows us to consider the idea and stew over the things and process over things that are being put into our mind. And finally, we come to the third question. And the third question is, I call it the most powerful question and most important question. Is the question that a skeptic will have to confront. And while we are doing all this, we are still entitled to be a skeptic. But we have to be very careful. There are actually 2 types of skeptics. And the first one is a judgmental skeptic, which I don't wish you do that. What is a judgmental skeptic? Judgmental skeptic will pronounce judgment and will make statements like, this economic situation is so bad, the job market is so bad, and so many things are so bad. This cannot be done. Or we don't have enough budget, we don't find enough money to do this, so this cannot be done. So you notice that this particular skeptic is pronouncing judgment or making a statement. So by making all this statement, it closes the mind and it doesn't help it to think further. So the difference between the second type of skeptic, which I recommend all of us do, is we become a curious skeptic. The difference between a curious skeptic and a judgmental skeptic is that a curious skeptic asks questions. A curious skeptic will say this: in this economic situation, people are quite wary about this. How can we change that behavior to adapt to your idea? Or, in order for us to do this, we need to find the budget. How can we find the budget to do it? Or how can we do it within the means that we have? So there's the difference between a curious skeptic and a judgmental skeptic. And by asking questions like this, it prompts the brain to think. So these are the 3 questions that we need to ask within that 15 minutes. And after that 15 minutes, we can still reject that idea. But I find that a lot of times that if we care enough to do that 15-minute process, problem solving will be much more easier because we will be more receptive to ideas. So let's go back. That completes our tip number 3 on problem solving. I urge every one of you, including myself, to practice this 15 minutes of thinking possibilities. tune in for more tips, and in the next episode, we are going to unveil another figurine. We have 15 more to go. See you.